What's up, guys? I wanted to show you all today how to tie the Tarpon Loop / figure 8 loop knot. Super simple little knot. There's a few steps to it, but it is a really great knot for tying in any diameter, especially much larger diameters. It's pretty easy to tie all the way up to like 80-pound mono or fluoro. So check it out. Hope you enjoy it. All right, so we are going to be doing the Tarpon Loop Knot. This is a really awesome loop knot. Not the easiest loop knot in the world to tie, but it's super strong and it's very clean knot. I use it in a lot of applications for top water, for jigs, for tying my flies on. Caught a lot of different fish on this loop knot, tarpon, jacks, big redfish, little trout. I mean, it works really well for just about anything. It's a great loop knot. It's not the only loop knot I tie, but it's one that definitely is important to have in your arsenal. So I'm going to use this iStrike Texas eye as our bait that we're going to be tying this loop knot on. And I've got 40-pound Seaguar fluorocarbon here. It's a little bit easier to see, and I'm going to use that. So the first step is get about 7 inches of line out right here, and then you're going to make an overhand loop. This is your tag end. This is the end that's going to go to the bait. So you're going to take the left side and go over the right side here, and then you're going to come from the back and go through twice. Once you do that, you're going to, I'll usually roll it up to get that 5, 6 inches, 7 inches. And I'll pull that down until it is seated into this little figure 8 position here. You can see that there. And then the next step is to grab whatever you're tying it to. You're going to go through the eye. And then you're going to slide that down. And what you got to do is, this is very important. If you don't do this correctly, the knot will not work. But you've got to follow this line right here back through this figure 8. So it's coming in from the bottom here, coming out the top. So I'm going to do that. Come through that little gap I left. That's why you don't want to cinch it too tight. If you cinch it too tight, it's hard to find that gap, hard to get your bait back through it. So then I'm going to flip this a little bit and then go back down through this. So it's literally just following this line, this line that's already there. So after that, I'm going to lick it. Just get a little moisture. Anytime I'm sliding a knot, I'm always licking it to make sure that friction doesn't wear down on that leader at all. So now you're going to grab this tag end again right here, and you're going to hold it and slide that knot down into the eye. So it looks like it's done here, but if you pull on the hook and the running line here, the whole knot will just slide out. This is when we're at the last step. You want to get a nice clean seat here. It kind of just looks like a uni knot almost cinched down on there. So now this is the last step. It's an important step because you're through this, you're determining how large your loop's actually going to be. So what it is just a uni in line here. And so I'm going to go left over right, make a little small loop again, but I'll keep this really small to keep my loop knot small. So you can just barely see it here in front of my fingernail. I'm going to take this from behind and come through the front once. And then twice. I'm going to get that kind of seated. I'm going to lick it again. I'll kind of grab it with my fingers here and slide it up so I've got that seated nicely. And I'm going to grab my running line here with my right hand and seat those together. I put a lot of pressure. So to really get it seated, I'm going to grab with my right hand here on my running line. I'm going to grab my hook here, or my bait, whatever I'm using, pull those apart while grabbing this tag end here with my teeth and pulling up. So I'm going to do that off camera for a second. So now that's real seated, you can see the loop here is nice and small, and you can control the size of the loop by where you seat that uni knot and where they cinch together. So the last thing to do is come in here with some scissors and trim that tag end off. I always leave a little bit of tag. It makes me feel a little more comfortable about my knots. Having a little bit of tag, they're not going to slide out. And one little final step I'll do sometimes if I'm rigging at the house the night before is I'll get some UV cure and I'll put it on the knot there just a little bit. I'll show y'all here. Just a tiny little amount. Gonna slide it around on there. And you'll grab your UV flashlight and hit that glue on that knot. It'll just keep it extra seated. And this isn't something I'm doing on the boat, but if I'm rigging rods the night before and I'm not gonna be cutting off too much, then this is what I will do. Just gives you that little extra oomph there when you hook that nice fish, that big old trout or that big redfish that you don't want that knot pulling on. Do it a little bit more, usually about 10-15 seconds is all it takes. It'll be a little tacky, so what I'll do is I'll just wet my fingers, my tongue, a little bit on there, and boom, there it is. This UV epoxy is actually pretty awesome. You can get this kit on Amazon. It comes with a thicker epoxy and a little bit thinner. I use it for time flies, I use it for knots, I use it for all kinds of things, but check it out on Amazon. It's called UV glue. I think it's like 15 bucks. It comes with a light in both tubes, and I've had this for almost a year, and I haven't used it up. I use it a lot when I'm tying albacore flies, but not as much on redfish stuff. Well guys, I hope that was a helpful video. It's definitely a really awesome knot. I hope you can use it out on the water. I'm gonna be doing some more knot videos, just kind of diving into the knots that I like to use on the boat on a day-to-day basis. I hope they're helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.